Since the very beginning, Prime One Studio artisans have had the honor of expressing their creativity through the blank canvas provided by DC Comics. When it comes to Batman and Company, the possibilities are endless.
It's no secret that I love this section, among many others. Just thinking about going to the grocery store, getting a comic book for the ride home, looking at all the artwork, the stories, the artist who wrote it. All
right, enough reminiscing about the good old days. But first, how about we send our viewers to the next teasers? Because they're sexy, exciting, and epic all at once.
Centered on the conflict between heroes and villains, the DC multiverse has continued to expand and transcend generations. Since 1934, these epic stories have set the stage for larger-than-life characters and unforgettable moments that captivate our attention and inspire our imagination even to this day. Prime One Studio proudly presents 3 such moments that can now be forever cherished in your collection. A savage sewage battle, a throne of thorns, and an infernal set of armor. From the depths below the city of Gotham comes a piece that captures the intense clash between 2 formidable adversaries in the dark sewers that no one dares to venture. The ferocious confrontation of Batman versus Killer Croc. Born with reptilian genetics, the supervillain known as Killer Croc possesses thick skin, impervious even to bullets, and overwhelming superhuman strength. The stunning craftsmanship of this piece brings life to the crocodile combatant in all his menacing glory, with a commanding presence befitting of his colossal form, coated in green scales and wrapped in bandages. The finer points of detail were spared no attention, with the visceral brutality spilling out of freshly opened wounds, one of which still has the battering thrust inside. What's more, 3 separate head portraits based on different artist depictions will be included, so you can display your favorite version of the scaled Sentinel. On the other end of this mortal confrontation, Batman also brings with him the presence of a life and death struggle. His bulging muscles have been pushed to the absolute limit and his iconic costume soaked in blood. This piece truly conveys both the unyielding reptilian resolve and the heavy weight of the hero's burden. Just like his opponent, Batman will also have 3 different head portraits as well as diving equipment for sustained submersions so as not to be hindered by a fierce aquatic assault. The elaborate base features weathered texture to bring out the grit and grime of the septic scenery, accented by the splashes of watery debris and skeletal remains. Even the inhabiting rats have stopped in their tracks to observe this epic encounter. This dark undercity cavern is lit only by the sparks that fly between these relentless adversaries locked in the ultimate showdown. And now, the climatic conclusion can be eternalized in your collection. In the previous showcase, Prime One Studio unveiled its newest project, Throne Legacy. This new collection displays your favorite heroes and villains expressively taking their seat on thematic thrones that highlight the true essence of their character and personality. This next enticing addition to this series features the illustrative vision from an esteemed DC artist, Poison Ivy Seduction Throne, concept designed by Carlos Danda. Gazing upon her subjects with a captivating aroma, the infamous eco-terrorist plants her roots in her rightful throne, overgrown in verdant vegetation. With top-notch talent and technique, Carlos Danda took Prime One Studios' creative direction and channeled it into an original illustrative manifestation like no other. The flowing tendril-like arms and legs of this natural beauty resembles vines of ivy, as her name suggests. Delicate, vibrant, her lush green skin is shrouded with an unbelievable attire made up of literal leaves, coming together in a design that feels both fresh and familiar. Changeable head portraits and a second set of hands allow for personalized arrangement to create a display of temptation that best fits your personal sensibilities. The carnivorous plant life and the decayed remnants of their unfortunate victims also take center stage in this piece. From the blossoming culmination of thematic elements on its front, to the intricately etched stone and composted casualties on its back. This piece truly is a sight to behold from all angles. The beckoning allure of the green temptress is simply irresistible. All hail the unparalleled majesty of the Sylvan Sovereign. Charging into the fray of apocalypse, he must take on the most fearsome enemies to retrieve the body of his lost son, Damian Wayne. Created for the most dangerous of scenarios, the bat suit that carries lethal ramifications makes its long-awaited appearance, with the returning expert in robotic detail, Hellbat concept design by Josh Nizzi. Forged by the combined efforts of the Justice League, the Hellbat armor offers godlike power restricted only by the limited life force of its user, with potentially fatal consequences. The heightened sense of tension and urgency with this fleeting iteration of the masked vigilante has made it a favorite amongst fans of the series. The creative vision features complex mechanical intricacies as we've come to expect from Josh Nizzi. Matching the unique appearance of the armor, the blade of the broadsword is made up of multiple segments joined together with a thematic bat symbol serving as the crossguard. The massive wingspan is broken up by panels lined with crimson, giving a flow of movement to the sharp edges. It's an inspiring technological masterpiece that adds modern innovation while staying loyal to the classic image of the character. With multiple display options, including a second pair of hands, wielding the broadsword and an alternative set of spikes, this imposing piece stands on a beautiful base of flames depicting the sinister hellscape of apocalypse. Yet another timeless moment in the DC legacy that can forever be preserved in your collection.
Published between 2017 and 2018, Dark Knight's Metal delves into the deepest and darkest corners of the DC universe and follows the story of Bruce Wayne in the multiverses turned evil. Prime One Studios' impressive take on the dark multiverse spans across years of painstakingly accurate and impeccable sculpting and detailing. At long last, I present to you the final piece of the puzzle, the last statues to complete your Dark Knight's Metal collection.
Dark Knight's Metal, the acclaimed crossover comic in which Bruce Wayne discovers the existence of an entirely separate multiverse known as the Dark Multiverse. It is here that we are introduced to 7 twisted variants of the Caped Crusader who have fallen into darkness. Prime One Studio has done an incredible job of depicting the sinister yet beautifully detailed recreations of the Dark Knight's darkest incarnations. With his vow not to kill Broken, he was consumed by the madness of his arch-nemesis, the Joker. Earth -22's The Batman Who Laughs. In order to stop a frenzied Superman, he infected himself with the Doomsday virus, Earth -1's The Devastator. Losing his beloved and himself to the power of a god, he welds the God Killer to wage war against anyone who stands in his way. Earth -12's The Merciless. Harnessing the ring of the Green Lantern, his corrupt willpower overcharged the ring and turned himself into a cold killer. Earth -32's The Dawnbreaker. Pushed to extreme measures by the loss of his sidekick Robin, he acquired the Speed Force and gained the power of light speed. Earth -52's Red Death. Driven to war by the forces of Atlantis, she wields the Trident of Poseidon in a sunken Gotham, the Drowned of Earth -11. Driven to guilt and self-loathing by the brutal death of Alfred, his desperation and despair turned to reliance on technology. Earth -44's cybernetic monster, Murder Machine. Beneath the mask that bears a strong resemblance to the Batman we know, his capacity for fear and sadness has been completely removed by an AI replica gone haywire known as the Alfred Protocol. His cold, mechanical expressions have been captured in 3 separate portraits, each devoid of human emotion. Glimpses of machinery can be seen peering through the armored plating meticulously devised by master engineering. Small metal segments align to form a spinal column along the back, producing a cybernetic structure resembling human anatomy with technological capabilities, perhaps even surpassing the creator, Cyborg himself. His reconfigurative abilities can be seen through interchangeable parts. With computer hacking wiry tendrils and a sharp blade capable of cutting through anything, distinct key moments from the comic can be recreated and eternalized. The ethereal base features hologram projections of the emotionless Alfred Protocol that will stop at nothing to protect Bruce, even from his own humanity. The former father figure takes helicopter parenting to the most extreme level and includes LED lighting in both hands, as well as the hands of the Murder Machine himself. The pinnacle of cybernetic evolution, unfettered with the constraints of human empathy. Murder Machine is available at long last, completing the roster of the Dark Knights. What's that? We're still not finished with the Dark Multiverse? What about her? Right. Let me introduce you once again to the world of darkness. Try not to be consumed by the cackling madness. In the Dark Multiverse, it is not just heroes that are twisted into obscurity. This next member of Darkness was first previewed back in November, the Harley Who Laughs. Much about this iteration of the Clown Princess still remains a mystery. We only know her goal of becoming the multiverse's one and only Harley Quinn. Once again, Prime One has teamed up with DC artist Carlos Danda to come up with original concept art to serve as a foundation of sculptural design. Her signature red and blue costume is gorgeously rendered in metallic and leather textures. The gratuitous use of spikes, also seen in the Batman Who Laughs, brings with it a tremendous sense of weight. The bloodthirsty hounds Bud and Lou are eager to be unleashed upon some fresh meat. Over the years, Harley Quinn has worn many faces. Likewise, Prime One Studio has prepared multiple portraits, including her peculiar face paint, along with multiple cage-style masks. On top of that, you can also change between a freshly bloodied hammer, a spiked bat, and a savage meat cleaver to optimize for the perfect display of the Mistress of Mayhem. Standing atop a heavy metal ironclad base of pure despair, this stunningly gruesome portrayal of the dark multiverse's Queen of Chaos turned even crazier is one you simply will not want to miss. For more information on the Dark Multiverse series, or for the latest updates from Prime One Studio, be sure to check out the official Prime One Studio website and social media channels. Last September, Prime One Studio revealed their latest series in development, the Throne Legacy Collection. Throughout history, there have been countless creations of stone and metals depicting powerful, heroic figures of their time seated upon thrones as a testament to their greatness. This symbolic imagery has made its way into the mediums of entertainment spanning film, comic books, and video games, all showcasing the commanding presence of these iconic legends, inspiring the concept of this bold new collection. Of course, Prime One Studio has offered statues in seated positions in the past, but the goal of the Throne Legacy Collection is to fully draw out the character's personality with expressive postures and thematic thrones to best capture their true nature. While you or I might sit down to sneak in a quick break, in the world of statues, the seated form shows status, strength, and sophistication. Throughout the showcase, we'll be taking a deeper look into the lineup of the Throne Legacy Collection, where you'll be able to see firsthand the eminence worthy of those ascending to the throne. Bear witness to the magnificence of those who sit atop the world. At Prime One Studio, statues aren't just simple sculptures. They're an artistic medium that captures both the background and story of a character through otherworldly portrayals of dramatic expression. This time, Prime One Studio takes its first step in a bold undertaking with an entirely original depiction of the beloved Batman series in an epic, gritty, dark fantasy world with plans of even more characters on the horizon. Engulfed in an infernal nightmare, Batman dons armor with a fierce new appearance that captures his unyielding abyssal descent to vanquish hellish abominations. His signature bat symbol, an image as iconic as the hero himself, exudes a piercing presence that absolutely demands your attention. From head to toe, his armor resonates with the unleashed power of this dark nether realm. With each stage of his rising fury, his helmet adapts and changes form. Starting with the traditional depiction of his lower face exposed, his escalating anger closes the helmet to reveal a mass of pure rage, until finally, the power of wrath emanating from his crimson eyes fully conceals all emotions, completing the transformation of the warrior of darkness. Firm within his grip, the Demon Slayer blade is the perfect weapon for striking down the twisted horrors of this plane into astral ruin. With the Phantom Axe, ethereal specters devoid of form are cleaved asunder, vanishing into oblivion. The Spear of Justice pierces through the sturdiest armor in hordes of encroaching demons. The Behemoth Deathbringer's sword delivers death even to those assumed to be immortal. And when all those weapons become one, combined with Batman's unwavering resolve for justice and righteousness, the colossal Judgment of Faith is born. The sheer multitude of weapons exhibits masterclass in craftsmanship and a breathtakingly dominating display like no other. Following the trail of classic entries from DC Comics, as well as the highly intricate mechanizations of the Transformers series, Prime One Studio plunges into the dark depths of a world reminiscent of the manga masterpiece Berserk. Batman Berserk Dark Age Saga. This is only just the beginning, so stay with us as we venture deeper into the void.